Okay, hello, hello. So guess what? Can you see my screen? Are you
I
looking
can.
at,
I
yeah,
can.
you see
Mm-hmm.
some chat GPT stuff on there? Okay.
Mm-hmm. About building a
You
story.
know, chat GPT, I won't go into this too much, but with chat GPT, you get to put in questions and have the computer, have AI research for you. And in researching, you have to know what questions to ask. And if something doesn't feel right, you have to ask again. You have to ask a different way or tell it, no, that's not right. Anyway, for this one exercise, here, let me just get rid of share screen for just a second here because I want to tell you more first. Let's pause the share. Stop. How do you do that? Gee whiz. Sorry. Okay, well, let's leave it on share. Why not? Um, the thing is, if you are building your website, what that says to the world is this is who I am. And you are looking for a connection, whether you have a website or not, kind of doesn't matter in this regard. Identifying who you are, your brand is the most important thing. Knowing who you are. Because who are you going to attract? Who do you want in your business? Who do you want in your business? People like you.
Like-minded people.
You want people just like you.
Yeah.
You want to create the brand. And now they may not quite be where you're at because they have their journey, you have your journey. Everybody is evolving kind of simultaneously at different rates. Um, the vibration is raised. I can be really philosophical about this. However, if you know who you are and you are able to communicate that and you're able to understand who is looking for you, what their pain points are, what their struggles are, what's their worry, what's their concern, what's keeping them up at night. That's what some people say. What's keeping them up at night? Nothing keeps me up at night. But it took a long time to get there. But I can talk to people about what's keeping them up at night because I've been there. I have been there. You have been there. And you have had a transformation because of your experiences. And what they are looking for is a transformation. You're going to help them transform. Does that make sense
Yep.
so far? Okay,
Yep.
so far. All right, whether you're creating a website or not, you have to know who you are. And who you are becomes your brand. Now, Avini has a brand. In fact, they recently rebranded with their homepage. Feel better, look better, live better. I mean, pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. And they haven't ever said that before, but they are stepping forward, saying it now. And in doing that, they are creating their own brand. We're not just selling supplements, we're not just a store. We will be your guide so that you can feel better, look better, live better. Do you see? There's a gap here between not feeling better, looking better, living better, and feeling better, looking better, living better. There's a gap, and we're going to focus on the gap right there. We're going to focus on the gap. So, who you are helps people who want that get that. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so knowing excuse me, knowing a little bit about that, about yourself, will help tremendously. Okay, there's a book that I want you to find at the library, if possible, or get a copy of it if you don't have it. There. Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand. Yeah, you got that? Take a screenshot if
Just a
you
minute.
need to. Yeah. When I was
Okay.
first building my website, rebuilding my website, my guys suggested this book. And so, of course, I took their suggestion. I got the book. It's incredibly helpful. I will just say it's incredibly helpful. And that's why I talked to ChatGPT this morning because I wanted to offer the conversation that I had with them, whoever they are.
Mhm.
Story Brand by Donald Miller seems like the best idea for my team members to begin identifying with not only who they are, but also who they want on their team. Discuss. And so I told ChatGPT to discuss this. What I ended up doing is you don't have to copy and paste this. You don't have to take notes. I did that in a
Mm.
document. I'll send it to you. All right.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So you get the recording and you'll get the document later. So building a story brand gives people a language for identity, for clarity, direction that many wellness entrepreneurs desperately need. And people don't join a wellness business because they want freedom, purpose, healing, and all those things. But, why do people join Avini? Why do they? Most people join because they want the products, right? And that's a shift that has happened recently with the company starting June 1st. People can buy the products at a wholesale price with a $2.99 pack. That's a huge shift. They can just buy a bottle retail, no problem. Bottle retail, get a $2.99 pack wholesale. Now they're a wholesale customer. And most people we have talked to, the highest percentage of people we talk to want to be wholesale buyers. Has everybody found that to be true? Raise your hand
Yes.
if you have found that. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
And so the company has watched and listened and learned that this is what's happening. And so instead of asking people to join as distributors with a 2.99 pack, they can just be a preferred customer, get wholesale prices with a 2.99 pack. It's brilliant. We're not asking anybody to do a business, and that's what most people want. They want the products.
Mm.
Great. What we are looking for is people just like us who want to build. And so Avini has branded themselves now with feel better, look better, live better, that you can have these products at wholesale and you have the opportunity to not only feel better, look better, live better, but you can help other people who want that too. You see, they're looking for people who want that. So you're getting this branding idea. You are the brand for you, your journey, whatever brought you here, that's who you are, that's your brand. And when you find other people who want that too, then you can start having the discussion of, well, let's get your products paid for. Let's talk to other people and see if we can find some people to help. Let's find out if there are people out there in the world who are just like you and want to do something with this. So the framework, I'm right here in the middle now here. The framework shifts from people trying to sell something into understanding the transformation, write that word down, transformation they represent. And so, are you able to answer these questions? Who do I help? What problem do they feel every day? What future do they want? What role do I play in helping them move forward? You know, you do play a role in their lives. If they're just signing up and you don't talk to them again,
Mm.
Yeah.
you're not playing a role in their life. You need to be there for them. So, um, first, this is how this helps you. This book helps you. It helps you identify your own transformation story. Does everybody on this call have a transformation story? Have you been transformed in some way
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
using these products? Your health has been transformed, perhaps. Your mental attitude, your imagery, your focus, your desires, have they transformed at all? Would you
Yeah.
say? Yeah. Okay. So that's part of the journey. Now, we're looking for people who also want a transformation. Figuring out what that transformation is the biggest challenge that you may
Mhm.
have. You're offering a transformation, you want to find the right transformation for them and maybe have the transformation that other people will be attracted to. Now, there's something important that was just said here. Uh, Okay, the framework shifts from trying to sell something. Now,
Mm.
I want everybody to write these words down. I sell stuff. Write it down. I sell stuff. And
Mhm.
be good with that. Be good with selling stuff. Selling means that if they buy, you're helping them. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if they buy from you, you are helping them. If they do not buy from you, are you helping them?
No.
Mm-mm.
No, you have failed. Get used to that idea that you are failing them if they don't buy something. You are absolutely selling something. That's so important.
Mm.
And I heard Dave Gilday say the other day, Robin's call. I don't know if you got the recording. I'll send it to you if you didn't.
I saw half of it.
I saw
Um,
it just before this one.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay, good. So Robin and Dave Gilday are talking about how they've been working for 5 months. They have these scripts. They're kind of fine tuning how they are doing business moving forward. And I heard Dave say, we're not selling anything, we're sharing.
Mm.
And I just wanted to put my hands on his shoulder. Of course, he's a diamond, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have to pay attention to diamonds because there's something that got them there that worked. Whether they were able to do it all by themselves or they had a little help. Of course, everybody has some help. Nobody's diamond all by themselves. Maybe Dave,
Yeah.
Dave Johnson, maybe. Um, but the idea is, how do you sell? So sharing is how we sell, but we have to sell. Don't avoid the word sell, because if you approach it with confidence, you're going to have an unshakable belief in your body and in your mind that you need to figure out a way to sell. It might be sharing. That's a way. We are absolutely selling. Don't discount that. So, but we don't often come out with the words, hey, I'm trying to sell you something, because they'll turn and run, right? But in our minds, in our conviction, we know that we have to make the sale, so that they will benefit from what we know to be true, but they don't know yet. You see the gap? We
Mm-hmm.
know something they don't know. So there's a gap there that we have to bridge somehow. And that bridge is where this book, Story Brand, comes in. So second, it helps you recognize your people. Most struggling network marketers believe they should talk to everyone.
Mm-mm.
Have you heard that before? Talk
Oh,
to
yeah.
everyone. Yes. Well, and why not?
Hmm.
Why not have a conversation? What I have discovered in having conversations with people is I ask questions and I figure out pretty quickly if we have something where we can bridge the gap. I figure out if there's something that I have that they need and I find a way to bridge it. That's what you're finding out when you have conversations with people. And maybe it's not for them, it might be for a friend, a family member that they are concerned about. And that's okay, you know. So talking to everyone, sure. Having a purpose and sticking to your purpose would be a good idea. So let's explore a little more on who, and of course, ChatGPT is giving me people I like to talk to, like the pet lover group, right? Or practitioners. I like to talk to practitioners to see if they're open to adding another income stream. And by the way, you should be talking to people who want another income stream. Why not? You know, there are entrepreneurs out there. They are. And whether they are in construction or dentistry or dog walking or um, who knows what, personal shopper, would people like an extra income stream? Most people would say yes to that. Yes, I would like more money coming in. And the people who are ready to grasp that idea, those are ones you want to talk to. You don't find that out unless you talk to them. So should you talk to everybody? Yeah, you probably should talk to everybody. Don't have any preconceived notions. Don't make any judgments on people. Don't think, oh, they can't afford it. That's what, you know, maybe mistake number one is judging people on can they afford it or not.
You can't afford not to.
Yes, but don't argue with people about it. Just don't
Mm-hmm.
judge them about it.
Yeah.
Because if people see the value and you have bridged the gap, then they will find the way to afford it. You don't have to go
Yeah.
through all that argument in your own brain about it. Let them figure it out. They will. They will absolutely figure it out. I've seen this over and over and over and over and over again for people who want to buy my class or buy my tuning forks or, you know, buy Avini. They will find a way. They will find a way if they understand the difference between what they want and what they're going to get, and you have bridged the gap. Do you see we're spending more time on bridging the gap today?
Mm.
Yeah? Bridge the gap. So Story Brand, here I am. Story Brand also protects people from becoming overly product focused or opportunity focused. And the customer or prospect becomes the hero. Who's the hero? Not
The
you.
prospect, the customer. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're not the hero. You're the guide. You're going to guide them so that they can achieve their own journey, so that they can leap over that gap. This is something MJ talked about in early training. Early MJ
Mm.
is what I like to
Really,
refer.
MJ, I like that.
Early MJ was, you know, there's a gap. Let's bridge the gap. What do they want? Help them see it, help them have a belief. You guide them to show the possibilities. That's what you do as the guide. So there's no pressure, chasing. And story brand is really all about attracting. And so what you do is you become magnetic because you're attracting. And this is early MJ also. You're attracting people. That's why I love the idea of a website. If you don't have a website, that's okay. Get a Google page, a Google business page. Create your Google business page. And if I can share something with you that I created, oh gosh, where the heck is that phone? Huh, I might not have my phone with me. Well, that's unusual. Okay.
Yeah.
That's unusual. I'll share with you later sometime. I've been working on some cool stuff because I've also been learning. Did you know that Bev and I also do other trainings? We are focused on personal growth. We are focused on learning stuff, on how to do stuff so that we can teach you how to do stuff.
Hmm.
And so what I've been learning is I've been learning from two magnetic influencers. Their names are Stacy and Nicole, and they're teaching me about how to do live videos
Oh,
that I can post every day to attract. You know, if people are scrolling, whenever you scroll on Facebook, what causes you to pause?
something that gets my attention.
Something that gets your attention. Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. What gets your attention? Something
Pictures.
something you're interested in.
Mhm.
Pictures, videos, cat videos, I don't know. What
Hmm.
gets your attention? And once you have taught Facebook what gets your attention, because they're looking at your eyes, right? With the camera, they're looking at your eyes, they're looking at your scrolling behavior and what you're opening and watching. And Facebook has learned to use this in an algorithm to give you more of what you want, right? So scrolling and pausing on what is attracting your attention, that's where you want to attract people. So I'm learning this. I'm going to be doing this, and we'll see what happens. Where some people are focused on who's right here in your neighborhood, who's right here in your town that you can talk to. Okay, yes, that's one avenue, one avenue, local. My business tends to be not local, and I think that has a lot to do with my website because it's been around for a long time. It's going to get bigger when I start using social media a little bit more. So I'm going to learn that aspect. Why? Not because I'm selling a product. I will never post a picture of a product and say, here, buy this, because there's no gap. People
Yeah.
don't feel that gap. What I will be focusing on is bridging the gap,
Mhm.
the pain point,
Hmm.
the desire, bridging the gap. And that's the only thing I'm going to talk about is bridging that gap for them. And then if they want to talk to me, okay, we have a conversation starter. You see?
Mhm.
So having that idea of who you can attract, bring into your life feels so much more enriching to me than chasing people. Wouldn't you
Much
agree?
better.
Yeah. How many times have you called people over and over and over again? Yeah, a lot, right? But
Mhm.
if you have a way to reach people, I'll just say strangers. Strangers are just people who aren't your friends yet.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
If you have a way to reach more people, more eyeballs on your stuff, then you have an opportunity to have more conversations. And conversations lead to invitations that, that bridge the gap. You see where we're going with this?
Mhm.
We're looking to attract more people. Now, let's say, and I don't want to get into all that other training, but because I do want to finish this, but let's just say, for example, you create a post, and Star's pretty good at posting Winton videos, but I have never seen a call to action. I mean, gee, if you're interested, talk to me. No, you didn't create a gap. There's no pain point. There's no desire. You didn't create a bridge to the gap. You're just posting cute pictures. No purpose there, except, hey, I own a cat and he's cute. You see? So you want a
Mhm.
call to action. You want to find a way to bridge the gap. You're going to get tired of me seeing this, bridge the gap, but I want you to really get this.
But that's the missing piece.
It is the missing piece. Yes. Early MJ on his very first recordings, do you have gaps? How
Mm.
about do they have gaps? Do they have gaps? Absolutely. So, look at these questions here. So let's integrate this into the team culture and use this as an exercise. What struggle prepared you for this work? Did you have a struggle that brought you here? Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes, I did. I have many struggles. Who doesn't have struggles?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who doesn't have struggles. You're human. You're here to struggle.
Mm.
What transformation changed your direction? Because obviously it's not a straight line. It's never a straight line.
Mm-mm.
You go here and then something shifts and you go here and you go here and you go here. So there's always this buildup, even in movies. We talked about movies earlier. Even in movies, there's this struggle. And then there's a partial resolution. And then there's more struggle. And then a little more resolution. So I'm going to take a quote from the book, Brand Story, and see how you feel about this. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you
Are.
are. You
Mhm.
couldn't stand the tension. You had to say it, right? You bridged the
Boy,
gap.
I fell into that one.
You did. It's not that I forgot. It's just that
Fill
you
in the
knew the
gap.
answer to it, right? You were able to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You see? So you have to find a way to bridge the gap. You're not going to be singing Twinkle, Twinkle. I'm just talking
Yeah.
about how people's minds are, how people's lives are. They have a journey. They get a little bit, there's another struggle, they go another way, there's another struggle. You know, they're winning, winning, winning. They're evolving, they're growing, they're raising their vibration the more they learn. And they're having transformations. What kind of people instantly makes sense to you? I would say there are a lot of people who make no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
I don't talk to them.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't talk to them because if they have a mindset of one thing and I don't live in that mindset, I don't go there. I go here,
Hmm.
right? So what
Hmm.
kind of people instantly make sense to you? That's good. Good question, right? What
And someone you
future?
have something in common with.
Yeah.
That's right. Somebody just like you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You are the
Okay. Yeah.
brand. You are the brand. Okay. What future do you want your life to demonstrate? Ooh, that's thinking about what's your gap.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, how are you going to bridge your gap? What conversations energize you most?
People like me.
People like you. You
It's
could
just
talk,
basically if, yeah, who talk like me?
you
Yep.
could
Like-minded people.
Yep. Have
You
the same
could
things in
talk
common.
all
Lots of
day
com.
long
Yeah.
about whatever that topic is.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go hang out. Find a meetup group, find a social group,
Mhm.
find people who are just like you.
Mhm.
And what problem do you feel genuinely equipped to solve? You don't have to have a PhD or an, whatever title after your name. You don't have to. I
Mm.
mean, it's nice if you do. It does give you some authority. It's nice if you've written a book, but you don't have to. It's nice if you're a speaker, but you don't have to be a speaker. It's nice if you were a business owner,
Be
but you
right
don't
back.
have to. Yep. So when you are equipped to help solve, You know something from experience. That's really the thing that people are looking for is your experience. And then you can say, and it's backed by science.
Hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
you don't have to be the scientist. You have to know where the studies are. That's fine. But what they trust is your experience. You know, when we put a new driveway into our driveway, we had pavers put in, people were walking by, ooh, ah, who did your driveway, right? We had the experience of needing a new driveway. Next thing we know, there are new driveways coming up all around us. So it's not that necessarily that they used our person, but they needed a new driveway. That's what they did. They saw that one person did it, then they did.
Mhm.
That's how things
Mhm.
happen. And I said, okay, great. Give me an outline of the book that pertains to this discussion and highlight prominent aspects for my team. So building a story brand follows a simple but powerful communication framework built around storytelling psychology. The entire promise revolves around one idea. One idea. They pay attention to stories. Do you tell stories?
Yeah. Mhm.
I bet you do. And when you tell stories, it's, you know, a little story. It's not all about you, but it ties into what they are asking. Yeah. You could say, hey, do you mind if I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story real quick? Yeah.
Mhm.
MJ says that all the time.
Hmm.
I have used that language too. When I'm talking to people on the phone and it's getting to be, you know, a little bit longer than 5 minutes, I say, do you mind if I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story? Something
Well,
like
most
that.
people love stories.
Yeah.
They love stories and they always say yes. They always say yes. So I tell a story, but only to help them get a piece of the puzzle that helps them bridge the gap.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do is bridge the gap. So people pay attention to stories that help them survive, succeed, transform, belong, and create a better future.
Hmm.
So here's the framework. The
Hmm.
hero has a problem. The hero is the person you're talking to. And don't skip this. Don't skip this. You need to find people who have a problem that you can help them solve. You have to figure out what their pain points are, what their struggle is. For Star, when you're teaching a yoga class, their pain points are instantly
Uh, obvious.
noticeable. They're obvious to you, right?
Hmm.
Because you're in a situation where you've gathered a group of people who all have the same problem. Ooh, well, if you're not teaching a class, how do you find a group of people who are trying to fix something, trying to solve a problem? It could be a cooking class that you attend. It could be um, a fitness event where they're doing something, or a place where they're working out, or gathering with their animals, dogs, you know, or a place you're volunteering, maybe. So find out where those people hang out and go there
Mhm.
and help build a bridge. You have to find the people. If you're not attracting them with a website or a page or social media, then you have to go there. And it works both ways. You can go there, go to a networking group, although I don't really resonate very well with networking groups. It's really strange. Nobody gets me. I guess I haven't bridged that gap yet with networking groups. We love you, Rosemary, but you know, we don't understand you, but we love you anyway, is usually what I get. That's what I used to get. And boy, that was an eye opener. Okay, maybe I don't belong here.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Or maybe I need to refine what I'm saying so that they do get me. Yeah, I need to get them. They don't have to get me. Okay, so for our audience, it could be exhaustion and overwhelm, feeling toxic or inflamed, fear around aging. And I would just like that fear word. What are they afraid of?
Mhm.
What are people afraid of? Are they afraid of dying alone? Are they afraid of
They're afraid of
uh,
being incapacitated.
incapacitated,
Yeah.
can't move, can't function?
Mhm.
Um,
Loneliness.
Loneliness. Are they afraid of watching their pet struggle?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they afraid of being disconnected? What about being disconnected from themselves and their higher selves? I talk to a lot of people who are so disconnected.
Mhm.
And I can say the same thing over and over again in different ways. But if they're disconnected or they don't have confidence or they have a lot of fear, they're just not going to get it until they get that that aha,
Mhm.
and then they'll get it. So, we keep working on it. Um, Financial pressure. Yeah. Wanting more freedom, healthier lifestyles. Some
Yep.
people, here it says feeling spiritually numb. I would say a lot of people feel numb,
Yeah.
numb, or they are deliberately numbing themselves with alcohol or food addictions, in other words, television. They are numbing themselves because they don't feel connected. And so, in order to dissipate that fear of not feeling connected, they connect to something that they're addicted to, and that numbs them. Philosophy, sorry, I tend to go.
True.
It's true. Now, in step 2, the hero meets a guide. So, how do all of your heroes that you're talking to
Now you be
meet?
quiet, Blackie. Fun.
How do they meet a guide? They only meet the guide if you are meetable,
Mm.
if you are visible, if you are there.
If they can find you.
If they
Yeah.
can find you, that's how they meet you. And so think about ways to attract people and to be around people who want to be attracted to you. So whether you're growing a business locally and putting yourselves in situations where you're, inviting to a party, maybe it's not an Avini party, maybe it's just a social gathering, and that's where you find out. Maybe you have a book group. Ooh, wow, that's good. What if you had a book group that talked about books and you got to know people better? Or you joined a book group at the library. That might be an interesting option for some people. You want to get in front of people. So either you are going to them or you're attracting them to you with social networking and, scrolling through stuff, having a website, going out there, putting it on Pinterest, putting it on Instagram, however you are doing it, you are getting guides. You are the guide, you are getting heroes on their journey. And you have to identify and understand what their struggle is. Number 3 is the guide gives them a plan. Do you ever give people a plan or do you just talk them to death and sign them up?
Plan.
Ah, wow.
With the very first two there,
Mhm.
I talk about Avini as everybody needs cell defender. So you've got to start with cell defender because you got to clean your body for anything to get in there to be healthy. So that's the first thing you got to have, and the rest of it just complements it.
How about reframing it first? Let's reframe that. So I heard you say, Anne, you got to have cell defender, right? That's
Yeah.
pushing a product. What if
Mm.
you were conveying an idea? And Star said this really well the other day. Have you thought about how heavy metals are interfering with your
Yeah.
health, right?
Instead of
So
direct, come in the back door.
that's
Yeah.
right. Have you thought about how heavy metals are interfering with XYZ?
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not, you need this product. Of course
Yeah.
they need the product,
Yeah.
but
Glad I
but
brought it
they
up.
remember bridge the gap. Oh, you have this problem? Well, there's this solution, but they're not going to jump that gap. It's too wide. You see how wide that gap is?
Mm-hmm.
But if you bridge the gap, have you thought about how heavy metals? No, no, no. Now you've bridged the gap. Yeah? Okay.
And there's something that all of us have to offer in a different way that are on this call. Coaching.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Exactly. And I've talked about this big book before. I've talked about branding on multiple calls. And I will always be talking about it because it's shifting and changing. That's one thing. Your branding shifts and change. The more you evolve, the more your brand evolves also. The
Mm-hmm.
more you learn, the more you begin to incorporate. You are bridging your own gap on your own journey. And this is the other MJ piece is what do you want? What's your desire? Where are you at and what do you want? And be your own mental guru and bridge that gap. Get really good at bridging your own gap. The problem with this one piece here, when you're looking at yourself, is maybe you know where you are and who you are. Maybe. Maybe there's a little lack of confidence in there or belief somewhere. And then what you want feels so far away, or you don't know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you can never bridge the gap, which is why MJ spent so much time on do you have gaps and what are your desires? What do you
Yeah,
want?
desire statements.
A
Mhm.
lot of people I talk to don't know what they want. And if you don't know what you want, you're going to get what you get. So
Mhm.
you're going to get what you think about, which is more of what you've been thinking about. Okay. Number 4, the guide calls the hero to action. A call to action is really important, and it can be little. Have you thought about how heavy metals are interfering with your healing? Would it be okay if I told you a story?
Can I make a recommendation?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet. Can I tell you a story? You have to bridge the gap,
Yeah.
remember?
Mm.
Right? You can't make any recommendations because there's too far of a leap. You
Okay.
can't do that yet. But could I share a story with you? I people will tell you, and I've done a whole series on this. People will tell you that, here, let me make something up. People will tell you that it's important you see your doctor every year to get all of these scans, to get tested for cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, all of the modern ailments.
Diabetes.
Yeah, all of those. Get a mammogram. People will tell you that that's the way you stay healthy.
Hmm.
Here's why that's wrong. I have a firm belief that that's wrong. That's the wrong way to do it, in my opinion. The right way to do it is they're on a search and destroy mission. They're looking for people who can fall into their system
Mm.
of, oh, you tested high for cholesterol. Let's give you this medication. Oh, you are borderline this, or we found this. Let's give you this, and let's get you into chemosurgery, radiation. Okay. You
So
see,
fear-based.
it
Yeah.
is fear-based and it is medical system railroad-based.
Mm-hmm.
And my belief is more around prevention in a different way. They call that prevention, and that prevention method is way down at the bottom of the list as far as I'm concerned. The top of the list for prevention is you do stuff that makes sense. You're going to drink water, you're going to move your body, you're going to eat the right foods, you're going to get some sleep, you're going to have mental calming exercises, you're going to get connected to nature. All of that to me is the first line of being healthy.
Yeah.
First line of being healthy. And so when I say to people, people will tell you that it's important to see your doctor every year for this, this, and this because it's your main prevention. Here's why this is wrong. It's wrong because it gives up your power. You're giving your power of prevention and health and healing to somebody outside of you to tell you what's wrong and tell you how to fix it. And I believe that the power comes from your own personal actions, your daily lifestyle. Do you see? Does that make sense? Did I just
Yeah.
bridge a gap for everybody here? Did I bridge that gap?
Yeah.
And then, oh, can I tell you a story? You know, I used to feel that way too. In fact, I was in fear mode after my mother died from her horrible experience with breast cancer and all of those things. My gynecologist said, well, your mother had that. You're at high risk for that too. And he recommended yearly mammograms. I was in
Mhm.
my 30s and he was
Wow.
recommending yearly mammograms. Was that right for me?
No.
No, a better recommendation would have been something he probably didn't even know about because he
Yeah.
wasn't trained in natural healing. He was a really good gynecologist. And in that expertise, yes, I trusted him. He delivered both my babies. I liked him. But for health and healing, we have to go within. We have to accept the power for ourselves. And when you talk to people about that, you see how I wove in a little story? And
Mm-hmm.
you were all horrified. Ah, mammogram every year. You were only in your 30s. Oh my God, were you at risk? Well, I'm 72. I don't have any cancer. I never had cancer. I probably won't.
Mhm.
Was I at risk? Well, maybe, but I changed stuff about my lifestyle that got me to a point where I don't have that fear. Do you see
It's
how
not all about
this
genetics.
story okay, I'm not going to get into individual medical causes. We're just talking about the story. And then we'll talk later about what this means.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I can talk science to anybody. You want to talk science? Talk to me. I can do it. So, whatever you have to bring people in to get them to a page, and there's one Paul Stowers has created with Doug Dickey. What is it? Clean Start 90.com, I think. Clean Start 90. There's a wellness assessment on there. If you don't have your own wellness assessment, send them there. Have them take an assessment. Um, Give them a handout. Create something valuable for them, or invite them to this wellness chat. Sometimes we talk about products, right? But right now we're talking about the journey. And the prominent takeaway for my team, people appreciate leadership when it feels sincere, grounded, and congruent. Do you feel like I'm being sincere?
Mhm.
Do you feel like I'm coming from a place of feeling grounded and even
Mhm.
Yeah.
confident? Yeah.
Mhm.
Weaving the stories in. This is what you do. And the hero avoids failure. What happens if nothing changes? What happens if they don't agree with you at some point?
Mm.
What happens if they
Regret.
don't, well, they won't know because they
No.
didn't join the experience. Remember,
Uh,
you're trying to get them to bridge the gap.
mm.
If you fail at that, you do move on, you attract other people. The hero experiences success. This is such a good feeling of success when you have lived the lifestyle that you created. You created. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you
Are.
are. Yes. And so, most important story brand concepts. You got to be clear. You have to attract with an identity of who you are. You are the brand. The
Mm.
customer is the hero, not you. You're not saving everybody. They are saving themselves. They are learning something from you because you're their guide.
But
And they
our role is to help empower them.
help them. Well, I used to say that. I don't empower anybody. I
No,
do
but we
not.
help them find their power.
That's it.
It's
Yes,
their job, but
that's
we
right.
give them a map.
That's right. We give them a map. And
Yeah, because
so,
they don't know where to go. Yeah, so you give them a direction.
So again, you're the guide, but the ultimate goal is them being empowered to make their own decisions and make good ones.
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. And so, this is a huge shift. I want everybody to get this. Almost every spiritual leader of any kind, teacher of any kind says, I empower you.
No.
No, 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 no,
Mm-mm.
no, no,
We just
no.
give you the map
Yes, people have to empower themselves.
themselves.
However, they empower themselves because you helped bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to go. You showed them how to do that. You gave them the map, you told them the stories, you engaged them in conversation, you provided information, you connected them to me or Bev or each other. You did some sort of connection things that helped them feel that they had their own power. And that's the main difference that makes me freaking crazy is in the modern world, if we want to feel healthy, we should be able to do that on our own. We
Yeah.
should be able
Yeah.
to do that. We should feel like we've got this. If we need a little help, we'll go find it. That's
Mhm.
our objective. We can go find our help. We can ask a doctor for some help sometimes. You know, I won't tell you my story on that, but
Mhm.
you can if you want to, if you feel guided to. Okay, your choice, not your mandate. All right, clarity wins. Customer the hero. Transformation matters more than information. I know that some of us, not naming names, some of us here love to give information. Give more information, more information. You want to teach everybody everything. No, you want them to see what is possible for their transformation. What would it be like if, see, when you discover their pain point, let's say it's they don't have enough money. What maybe it's they don't have enough money. And you find their pain point and you say, "Ooh, boy, I hear you. I remember in college. Do you mind if I share a story with you? When I was in college, I could barely save a quarter to buy half of a sub that I would split with another person. You know, that
Mhm.
was many years ago. We'd split a sandwich. Um, I went home every weekend to do my laundry and to spend some time with my mom and, that kind of stuff. It was, I was this much above poverty level. I was this much above poverty. I know what that feels like to be struggling. And I never stayed there. I always knew things were possible. I got scholarships and loans. I graduated from college. I traveled the world. I did all of these things because I knew I could. I never doubted that I could. I always had somebody tell me, my mother told me, Rosemary, you can have me do anything you want. She told me that from the very beginning. So maybe nobody told you that. I'm telling you that. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Well, let's figure out. Let's sit down and figure it out. What would be the way that we could be able to do that? Let's see what that might look like for you. Do you see how I bridged the gap?
Mhm.
Whew, right there. And then you listen to their stories, and you're not getting into an argument. You're just getting closer and closer and closer to bridging the gap, right?